Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ultimate Racing League, the SMC Cup, Saturday Manufacturers Cup. We are here for the last round. Yes, last round, but obviously race one, so there is two. With these guys, this will also be my last time commentating for these, and it's been an absolute pleasure. So, as I've said, we are with the SMC guys, last race of the season. And we are at Deep Forest, a very, very, favourable track amongst all the drivers. So exciting, promotes fantastic racing. Doesn't matter whether you're in Group 4s, Group 3s, Group 2s, Group 1s. There's always battles going on up and down the grid. So, as I'd just like to say, obviously give a shout out to our league sponsors, and that's the Prop Up & Co, the old chaps down in Australia, the good old Aussies, and obviously the admin for letting me step in for our good old friend Rufus to just finish off the last few commentating replays for these guys so they can sit down, grab a bag of popcorn and watch themselves go round and round and round. So, yes. 16 laps, 10 out of the 16 possible racing today. We are in the Group 4 cars for race 1. Probably medium and softs for the first race. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down the grid and let's have a look, see who's grabbed that last pole for the final race. Obviously, race 2 doesn't really matter in terms of pole because, as I always say, he who finishes first must start last. So this man here, URL Matty Older, 93. So he takes the honours of grabbing that last pole position of the season for the Saturday boys. So, yes, Matty, congratulations. You are on pole and, yeah, hopefully you have a good race. In second spot, we have Panic at the Tesco's. In third, we have Bree the Mechanic. Now, let's keep our fingers crossed for Bree. He had a terrible, terrible outing for the last two races at Road Atlanta. So, hope you for a better show from this chap today. In fourth spot, we have a Grasshopper. Very, very, very dependent guy, this man. Very consistent, very rarely makes a mistake. So, another good outing for him here in fourth spot. In fifth, we have Silly Shot, who's in the Mercedes. In sixth, we have Sai. In seventh, we have Hoggy in that glorious-looking Alpha Tauri, Alfa Romeo, old banger, as you probably call them these days, because they're like, classics almost. In eighth, we have the Welshman. In ninth, we have the CEO of the Ultimate Racing League, Unforgiven. In 10th, we have good old Phaser. Don't know whether this is going to be his last race for the Saturdays, at least. But just a big shout out to him because he saves all the replays for us to do the commentating so that you can sit down and watch you guys all go round. So, as what I'm going to do, as per usual, we're going to go to the top of the grid and we're going to stick with him until lap 1. So, shall we get this show on the road? So let's just hope this time round that they are going to cross the line with the klaxon. 3, 4, 5, and it's lights out and away we go. So like I said, we are going to stay with Matty just for the first lap, looking behind us because there's nobody in front anyway, so nobody cares. All we want to see is these guys just going hammer and tong around this track. That 1 out of 16. So as we can already see that Matty he's starting on the softs. So a few of the guys behind us, I didn't see a couple that were on the mediums, but nonetheless, this is a track favoured by pretty much, probably about 99% of the drivers in the URL. Always fun round here. Always promotes great racing. So, as we can see, Matty, he's coming around whatever turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, turn 10, round to turn 11. Now we are down the back straight. Important not to run too wide there. You can end up getting yourself a nice hefty half-second penalty, but the penalty zone is on this back straight. One of two on this back actually, in terms of the tunnel-wise, so it kind of splits it. But so far so good by the looks of it from everybody. Don't see anyone really dropping back. There is a little bit of a gap up in the top right-hand corner, but that could just be for anything really. Maybe they just don't want to hang around with the boys up front. They've decided, we'll have our own little battle. It's the last race of the season. Last round of the season, that is. And yeah, we just want to play with ourselves. That sounds so wrong, doesn't it? We want to play with ourselves. Right, so here we go. Matty about to cross the line for lap 1. So lap 1 out of 16 has now been completed. So we're going to go back to Panic and Bree. This is what we want to see from Bree. This is much better racing from Bree. You know, he did actually do quite well in Road Atlanta, but I think it was, I don't know whether it was a glitching or there was something mechanically wrong with that car. It just randomly just flung him off the track. So I did feel a bit sorry for him because he was actually doing quite well. So as you can see there, Bree has actually gone a purple sector, but hey, it's lap 2. Everybody goes purple on lap 2. So, just going to have a look up here. So we've still got Panic and Bree going at it. Although Panic does look like he is slightly closing up on Matty. But we're going to drop back down through the grid. So Matty, who's out in first, being closely followed behind by Panic and Bree. These 3 guys, these are all on the softs. Back in 4th spot we have got Grasshopper. He is also on the softs, and he's got Silly Shot Company, who is also on the softs. And I don't know whether somebody's going to go for a move up there. It kind of looked like, oh, look at this as well. So Panic at the Tesco's. Got to have a look at this car because it's Panic at the Tesco's. So what's happened? Let's have a look. So what have we got here? We've got Sainsbury's. We've got Sainsbury's and Asda. So is it Panic at the Sazrazda or something like that, you know? This is where we're going to stay on board with these. This is where it's going to get all argy-bargy. Here we go, round to turn 1. Nice tight battling from these guys. No water given whatsoever, so we will come back to them. So as I said before, so Grasshopper, he's down, he's in 4th spot, and he's got Silly Shot for company. So these 2 guys, along with the top 3, they're all on the softs. We've got Hoggy down in 6th spot. He is on the softs, being followed closely by Unforgiven, also on the softs. Phaser in the Lexus. Now he's got Osman and Sai for company. So Osman and Sai, they're both running on the mediums. So they're the only guys out of the 10 are actually running on the mediums. So I would expect kind of Phaser to pull away from these boys, unless the performance difference between the mediums and the softs is like non-existent. There is quite, you know, there's 2 really long straights around here. Well, 3 really long straights really, and then to split those up, we have got the middle sector, which is more of a technical part of the track, which everyone loves anyway. So come on, Phaser, come on. I'm rooting for you, sir. We're rooting for you on possibly your last. On your last round of the season. So I'm going to go back up to the top. So I'm really sorry that I've missed this, but Matty, I'll tell you what, let's go back because it'd be a bit unfair. Just going to go back a little bit more. We're just going to see till Matty. Okay, so right, here we go. So this is what I was saying. If you go out too wide for that turn 10, I'm going to call it, you end up picking up half-second penalty. Now that's detrimental because look at these 2 guys. They've literally just left him for dead. That's how brutal that is, especially on the back straight as well. So we have a new leader. Panic at the Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda has managed to slip past both Bree and Matty. In 2nd spot we now have Bree, but he's coming under attack from Matty. So Matty's thinking to himself, you know, I might pick myself up after 7 penalty, lads, but I ain't going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to fight for that 1st spot. As we can see there, Panic went a little bit wide, maybe he braked a little bit too late. But look at this, 1, 2, 3. I mean, what you got there? Probably about probably about a quarter of a car length between the 3 of them. This is great racing. This is why I love coming here. This is one of those tracks that everyone loves because it just promotes racing up and down the field. Right, we'll go back down quickly. So Grasshopper, as I said, he's got Silly Shot for company, and then we've got a bit of a gap back to Hoggy and the old banger, and then there's another nice little gap now forming back to Unforgiven. Unforgiven in the BMW. Phaser, he's managed. I did think so, yeah. I was hoping that he would. Once those tyres, he gets settled in, he'll start pulling away from Sai and Osman. And Osman's dropped back by quite some margin. So he's managed to escape Hairy Cam. Because we're not going to go all the way back. I'll tell you what, nobody escapes Hairy Cam. So we're on lap 4. Let's go back. Let's see what's happened. So yeah, nothing doing with Hairy Cam because he purely just came into the pits. That's me because I'm not looking it down at the bottom left-hand corner. So anyway, sorry Osman, you got away with that one. I thought you'd have had a spun because you were so far back you come into the pit. So Osman's made his first pit. As you can see here, Panic and Breathe, they're going at it. This is what Sai's got a great view from behind. Let's get on board with Matty, not Sai. Let's come out of that. And look at this. Bree had literally went round the outside of Panic. Now that is a powerhouse, that Genesis. But then again, so's the Mustang. So let's go on board with Matty and just have a look. I know the view's not particularly amazing inside this Citroen, more like futuristic Star Wars. But let's have a look at this. At the slipstream. So Bree's decided that he's going to go defensive on that inside line. Is he going to hold it? Felt like he kind of like give Panic a little nudge to the right there and say, wait, no, that's my line. You pick another line, son. Bet Matty must be loving this. Right, we're going to go down to Grasshopper because what I can see here. So yeah, there's still a bit of a... They're still kind of in the same position. Silly's kind of... He closed the gap just a little bit. I think Grasshopper seems to be the strongest through the mid-sector, but then again he is in that Citroen and not in the big old boat of the SLS Merc. So Mum and him would be on Grasshopper mid-section, and then depending on the the aerodynamics of the SLS and obviously what the what do you call it, slipstream is set to, we'll stay with him and then we'll see. Let's have a look. So we're going through the second of the tunnel, coming up to the last hairpin. Yeah, didn't really gain much, did he? Didn't really gain too much at all. Okay, so we're going to drop back down now. Let's go down to Hoggy. Hoggy's not going to be bothering these guys up front, and it looks to me at the moment that he is starting to pull that gap out on Unforgiven in the old clapped out beamer. As they like to call it, the old clapped out beamer. Zimmer, clapped out beamer. Down in 8th we've got Phaser, so he's pulled out that massive, but even though Osman has pitted, he's got that lovely gap. He's got no one anywhere near him. But Osman and Sai, now they've both pitted. So they're not really going to come into play until possibly maybe like the second half of the lap, second half of the race, should I say. So Bree's still out in front in that powerhouse of the Genesis. This is what we want to see from Bree. You know, everyone's comfortable around this track. That's what we want. Everyone loves this track. So he's starting to pull a little bit of a gap back to Panic. So it looks like they're settling down a little bit. Maybe Panic's just deciding to sit behind him. But look, see these guys here? They do not want to be going over that line. So has anybody managed to pick up a penalty? No. All clean so far. And here we go. So Hoggy, yeah, he's become a cropper. He's become a cropper of that, hanging out a bit too wide. So by the looks of it, he's got away with it, as he's not going to have to serve it on this lap. So if I was Hoggy, I would be... What's Alex on? He's on the softs as well. Unforgiven's on the softs. So Hoggy would probably be wanting to extend that lead just a little bit more, unless he's going to decide to come into the pits, which would have been suicidal, considering it's only lap 6 out of 16. Maybe that was me wishful thinking. So Hoggy needs to put out a gap. He's in a four-wheel drive, mid-sector. He's got to try and build that gap enough so that when he serves that half-second penalty, that Unforgiven's not going to close it and overtake him. So as you can say, Unforgiven, he's down in 7th, and he's got Phaser not far behind him. And then you've got these two guys, the Welshman and Sai, just going about their own business. They know that the guys up the front, they've all got to run the mediums. So this might actually play into their hands, to be fair. So we're kind of like lap 14, so we're nearly halfway when we come up to lap 8. So I'm not sure when these guys are going to pit, to be honest. I mean, if the rules state that normally it's a minimum of 2 laps to run a set of compounds, so they might even end up going up to lap 14 on the softs, because they do. I mean, to be fair, I mean they do seem to be looking pretty decent. As we can have a look back here, to me it looked like Matty was eyeing up Panic here. But this is what I mean, this is what I'm saying about the track. So, because it promotes such fantastic racing, it's because unless, say for instance, I'm not going to do the commentator's curse, say for instance like Panic or Matty, they had a kind of like a little coming together, that leaves Bree to just basically disappear up the front, because it's the straights that, you know, promotes this racing, because they're so long you can't really pull away, so they kind of like end up in their own little pockets. So as we can see, Bree, Panic and Matty, I mean they've been together since lap 1. But here we go, oh there we go, see this is what I'm talking about. There's a little bit of argy-bargy going on here, so this is through the mid-technical part of the track. But all of this squabbling, this is not what you want to do through the mid-sector. No, if I'm racing round here, I don't even bother trying to attack through the mid-sector. I just don't. I wait for the straights, because then what happens is you invite this man, and soon Silly's going to be in with them. So now you're going to go from a 3-pack to a 5-pack. So yeah, brilliant. Yeah, come on, boys. Yeah, we love it. Let's go. Let's go. I love it. I love it. I love the enthusiasm of these boys. Give me the beans. Give me the beans in that Merc. I bet he's got his foot flat to the floor. Look at that. Revving in the absolute arse of it to catch these boys up. Obviously, this is 18 and over rated. Okay, so it will be put down on the YouTube. Children under the age of 18 are not allowed to watch this, because these guys get me all stoked and raring. So come on, pardon me, come on, Silly. You can do it, mate. You can do it. So what was 3 has now become 4. So that's it. Grasshopper's in there now. He's in that slipstream. So Silly needs to move over. He needs to pick up that slipstream of these guys, because what can be 4 will end up being 5. So this is what we want. Panic is now in the lead. He's going to try and go around the outside. No, Bree's in the lead. So we've got Panic and Bree sharing the honours. Here we go. This is what happened last time. Bit of argy-bargy. This is the section where I said you don't want to be fighting, because this is going to let Silly in, and it normally results in some poor sod going off. So here we go. As I've said, 3 became 4. Now it's 5. Now these, I mean, they have got a sizable gap back to, who is it? Who's that? Hoggy. You don't want to be fighting too much, because then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will end up becoming 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay, this is what I mean about this. All this fighting. So what's happened here? Oh, I had a little bit of a bump there. And another bump. Oh, dear. Oh, no, no, no. That is so unlucky. Let's have a look here. Let's do hairy cam on here. Now, it's hard to determine, because everybody breaks at a different point here. So let's have a look. So I think through no fault of his own, Panic has braked a little bit earlier than he probably normally does. He's coming round here. He's gone a little bit wide. Bree's wary of that, so he's trying to bring it in. But poor old Matty behind him, I think he's just gung-hoing it and expecting these guys to put the foot down. But he's given Bree a little nudge, which then nudges him into Panic. Look at this, synchronise. Trying to correct it. Slam. Slam, bam, thank you, ma'am. And that's that. So now we have a new leader. We have a new leader, and that's Grasshopper. He's kept himself out of it. So we've now gone from, we had 5, and now we're back down to 3. And what's happened here? So you got Panic. Okay, so we've got Matty Older, and we've got Silly. So they're still going at it. Okay, so the only one who really come off worse was poor old Bree. And he was having a fantastic race. So I've got to feel really sorry for him, but hey, this is what I was talking about here. So Grasshopper, he's got that little bit of a breathing gap, plus he's in that Citroen as well, so the mid sector of this, I'd expect it to outperform that Mercedes. Because I mean, let's be honest with you, the Mercedes is a bit of a boat. It will be, I'd imagine it will be a lot heavier. There's not a lot of aerodynamics going on there other than a front splitter and a rear spoiler. Whereas if you look at that Citroen, that's got front splitters, side splitters, rear spoiler, that's got everything designed around aerodynamic. So this is the mid-sector where I'd expect the Citroen to be the strongest. And as you can see, he's all over the back of Silly. But we will find out, won't we? Right, let's go back to Panic. Poor old Panic was in there as well. He come a cropper to that collision with Bree, so I'd expect him to clear the state of that Mustang. Been battered, hasn't it? So that's unfortunate for him. So he's now back down to 4th. A bit on his own, really. Maybe the guys up front, if they carry on fighting, he's going to be able to catch them back up. Now, back down in 5th, so Hoggy would have served his half-second penalty, probably for the last lap. He's got Unforgiven and he's got Bree for company now. I'd assume it's probably tyre related. Bree's tyres after that racing, fantastic racing for 8-9 laps, was really, really good. Phaser, he's got nobody in front of him, nobody behind him, and you've still got these two as well, Osman and Sai. So they pitted ages ago. They've not been able to close the gap. But the other guys haven't pitted yet, so let's just wait and see, shall we? So back up to the top with the top new top 3 guys, really. Well, the man who's on top, and that'll be Grasshopper. But he's not getting any breathing space at all. The poor old Silly, he's in the Citroen sandwich, isn't he? I wonder what it tastes like. Citroen sandwich. Oil, maybe? Petrol? High octane? Rubber? Yeah, I can't imagine it's a great sandwich. So poor old Silly sitting there thinking, God, I've got one eye on a Citroen at the front and I've got another eye on a Citroen behind me. But he is now coming under attack. So if Silly can sit in, he is in. No, he's not. None of them are. I would have thought yeah, here we go. No, he's not even in the slipstream of anyone. Not really. So going around to this really nice tight air bend. I feel like these guys, they're not really battling, but look at this. Right, okay, I've missed this. Let's have a look. So it's a drag. It was an out-and-out drag down to the hairpin. So Matty had actually got ahead. That's a slipstream in that car, I swear. Even when he's not in behind the other Citroen, he's managed to get ahead of Silly. So here we go. 2 Citroens at the front. Not a lot of fighting going on there at the moment, which is probably what Panic's kind of like hoping for. You know, fight it out, boys, so I can get back up there, you know. But at the moment, it's the Citroen boys, 1 and 2. Silly's in 3rd. Panic's coming to the pits. Unforgiven, he's now coming under attack from Bree, who's unfortunately he's picked up another half-second penalty. So what started out as a really good race, it's starting to unravel a little bit for him here. But I mean, if I was him, I'd be coming into the pits sometime soon because he must be losing time, surely, with those right offside front tyre. Yeah, not good. You need to think about coming in now, Bree. That's what I'd think about. If performance drops off, yeah, it's time to come in. So yeah, I'm going to give these two a a little bit of air time. That's just, I'm sorry. Sorry, that's just somebody trying to ring me. I'm not going to answer it. No, because I'm too busy watching you boys go around. So let's have a look. Bree and Unforgiven. So we're coming now down to the back straight. Looks like Bree went wide. And Bree has gone wide. This is not... And he's got half second penalty. Where's he got that from? I know he's already got half second penalty. But I really hope he hasn't ended up getting another half second penalty. If he did, then this would be the time to come in. It's got to be. You wouldn't bother wasting your time going round and round and round, because them tyres have gone, mate. So you need to come in. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Anything doing? No. Ooh. Now he did slow down, so he might have got away with that. So he did the right. I think he did the right thing there. So yeah. So he didn't get another half second penalty for that. So the stewards have been a bit kind to him and gone, yeah, do you know what? You didn't gain a lasting advantage. So, yeah. So this is where I'm going to expect maybe these two guys to come in now. Especially this man. He's got to. So the top three are in. Let's see whether driver number 4 comes in. He does. How about Bree? Mate, really? Either you're very, very good on softs. I honestly would have thought you'd have come in. I really would have thought that. I know you've taken up first spot, but 3 laps to go. Yeah, he's going to go up to lap 14. I don't know how long it takes the mediums to warm up. Maybe like 2 laps. So you're going to be out on cold tyres, but it all depends really how much lap time he's losing. Maybe he's seen something I haven't, because you've got Matty, Grasshopper and Silly, soon to be Panic. So these 4 will all be fighting, and they're all on the mediums. Osman's moved up to 6, and with Hoggy, but that 6 spot for Hoggy, Osman is just going to disappear, because he's 1 second penalty, so he's got Hoggy all over the back of him. Unforgiven, he's pitted as well. Size... Yeah, Sai has pitted, and Phaser's just come out of the pit, so he's heading up the rear. Sai has pitted, he has pitted, but he pitted early. I could be wrong. Unforgiven, he's pitted. Hoggy's pitted. Osman's pitted, so this Osman's going to go backwards now. That 1 second, I reckon by the time you've served that and got to the end of the pitch, end of that back straight, you're looking at only a good 1.5 seconds. You might lose. Will he lose the other 2 spots? They have the momentum. Will he do it? Unforgiven is. I thought he was going to have a go at that, but he decided not to. Right. So Bree's decided to come in now. I'm not quite sure what's happened to. Let's have a look. So Bree's out in front, so he's about to come in, as we saw in the top left-hand corner. Matty was in second. He's gone round here. Oh yes, there we go. Too much beans. So he just slightly lost the rear end. So poor old Matty worked his way up to 2nd spot. He's now going to drop all the way back to 5th. That's how close the racing is here. So let's keep an eye on, where is Bree? He's not even in the pit box yet. So he's now down to 5th, 6th, 9th. Is he going to run? Is he going to come out? He has. So he's out on the mediums. And just to add to his sorrows, he's picked up 3.5 second penalty. So that's pretty much game over for Bree the mechanic. So we're going to look up here. We're going to go up the grid this time. So Sai, he's not really going to have any issues with Bree now. 3.5 seconds. You're probably talking about 5 seconds by the time you get to that hairpin. Unforgiven, he's in 7th, chasing after the Osman. Hoggy doing what Hoggy does in the old banger. He's managed to actually put out a gap. So actually pretty decent motor that. Up in 4th, we've got Matty after that incident that he had. he gave it the beans and had the rear end kicking out, and he managed to lose out on the second spot because he would have been in first to be fair. And then we've got these three. So yeah, so they're all going to be battling out, but Matty's not going to be bothered because he's going to be sitting behind and thinking, do you know what? You three can battle all you like, because come the middle sector, I'm going to be on ya. But we do have another change in the lead. So Panic at the Tesco's in the Muzzer. He is now in first, followed very, very closely by Silly and Grasshopper. So are they going to go for it? Grasshopper looks like he's going to try and go around the outside. There is no right or wrong move at turn 1. I've done it plenty of times myself. It doesn't matter whether you're on the inside, doesn't matter whether you're on the outside, you can still get the pass done. So, but from going through here side by side is probably not the best idea, because look at this is what I told you. So squabbling through the middle sector, it really doesn't do you any favours. Right, sorry about that guys, that wasn't a technical glitch, that was me having to pause because I had somebody ringing me asking me to put the oven on. Do apologise for that, but we're going to get back to the racing because we're on lap 15 out of 16, so like I say, I really am sorry about that. And I really can't be bothered to go back and do another recording. So you're going to have a bit of a messy one there, I'm afraid. Right, so anyway, let's go back to it because we're coming up to the final lap. Silly Shots picks himself up half second penalty, so is that going to be enough for Grasshopper and Matty? Is Grasshopper? Yeah, Grasshopper's gone through, so he's going to close that hairpin. He's going to shut the door on him. Matty's thinking about going around the outside. We know what happened last time. Oh, look at this. So Grasshopper's not managed to get around the hairpin as quickly as he thought. So this is playing into the hands. This is really playing into the hands of Panic. That's it. That's game over. That's what I would say, game over. This is Panic's to lose now. This is what I was saying earlier. If you can get that gap between the guys squabbling these three, this is Panic's race to lose, unless he's going to do something really, really silly, which I can't see that coming from Panic. So this is where we are looking then. Silly is currently holding on to the second spot, followed extremely closely by Grasshopper and Matty, so he's been absolutely hounded by these Citroen boys. But what they don't want to do is they don't want to start squabbling between each other. So if I was Matty, I'd be sitting behind and thinking, do you know what, I'm going to wait for that back straight, mate. If I don't get you on the back straight and round the hair, I'm going to get you on that hairpin and down the last sector. I can just about see. Let's go back quickly. Hoggy's on his own. So we've got Unforgiven in the battle side, got half second penalty, so that's game over for him. Osman's not really going to change. Breeze out of the race, and Phaser, he's got half second penalty, so he's not going anywhere. So Panic's coming up to the hairpin now. We've got Silly Shot. This is where the racing is. Silly Shot, Grasshopper, Matty. So can Silly hold on to it? It really does now come down to, it's a drag race. Who can get out of this the best? Oh, you can see here, so I don't want to lose these guys. I don't want to leave them, but I'm going to have to. They're side by side. So that's it. Well, I'm just going to have to go up because we've got to do it. We've got to do it for the chap. We've got to do it for him. So congratulations for Panic. So Silly Shot's holding on to second. So you've got Silly Shot, Grasshopper, so Matty, Grasshopper, third and fourth. Hoggy crosses the line in fifth. Unforgiven will cross the line in sixth. Sai, seventh. Osman, eighth. Bree, ninth. I think Osman was carrying a penalty, so Bree, eighth. Osman, ninth. Good old Phaser. He's just coming down here now. So we're going to wait for him a little bit of a wait. While we wait, I'm just going to say, Matty Older, congratulations. You have the fastest lap of 1:34.4. But obviously, congratulations to Panic. And here we go, across the line for the end of race 1 is Phaser. So, yeah. Like I say, I can't really complain. Absolutely fantastic race, you know. Like I say, click that like button, share it, subscribe. It'd be fantastic. I've got to be quick now because the wife's just about to turn up. But I'll see you at race 2. And like I said, I do apologise for the pause during lap 15. I'm not going to be bothered to go back and re-record it. So once again, thank you for watching the URL Harry Poppins Race channel, and it's been a pleasure. See you next race. Bye bye now.